I have a new girlfriend and I'm moving in with her. I'm getting a divorce, and you need to move back to your parents' place. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't need you anymore. If you want to be a breadwinner or a housekeeper, you can stay with my parents, Julian. My in-laws and husband laugh at me, and they're terrible people. But this is better for me, so you all need to leave. My name is Julianne. I'm 35 years old and work in an office. I've spent my whole life working hard. After college, I started at a big company and worked there for 13 years. I earned promotions, and now, at a young age, I'm a department manager. I have a great boss and a talented team. My work life is great, but my personal life is not. When I was a student, I had a boyfriend, but none after I started working. Concerned about me, a friend threw a dinner party, and that's where I met Jake. He was kind, had a great smile, and was easy to talk to. Since we were the same age, we had a lot in common and enjoyed each other's company. We became friends, exchanged contact information, and started having meals together. Eventually, Jake told me he had feelings for me, and we began dating. We got along really well. Jake proposed, and we got married. I was thrilled to marry the man I loved. Shortly after, I visited his parents. They were very welcoming and kind. Julian, it's wonderful to meet you. We can't believe someone as beautiful as you is marrying Jake, they said, and they were in tears. We're so proud of our son for finding such a good partner. Mom and Dad, stop it. You're making Julianne nervous. Oh, if you really feel that way, you can say it. Yes, it's a compliment, so it's fine. Jake's parents were very friendly and easy to talk to, just like him. Julianne works for a big company, right? Oh, that's great. It's impressive to see a woman who works hard. Are you going to quit your job after you get married? No, I plan to keep working. Well, you have a good job at a good company. That's great. I felt relieved. I had heard from friends that their mothers-in-law often told them to quit their jobs because it was a wife's role to support her husband. So I was happy to see that my future mother-in-law was supportive. After meeting my parents, we got married. I was thrilled about starting our new life together. My husband moved into the house I was living in, and we began our life as newlyweds. I was very happy to be with him all the time and to come home to him after work. 8 months into our marriage, my husband told me he wanted to talk about something. If you don't mind, I'd like us to live with my parents. What do you mean, live together? Yes, they're getting older, and I'm worried about them. I understand how you feel. My parents are about the same age, but my brother and his wife live with them, so I don't have to worry. However, since you're an only child, it makes sense that you're concerned about your parents. Does this mean we'll be living with your parents? Yes, that's right. But do they have a room for us? They use every room for various things. Well, if you're open to it, I think it would be a good idea to renovate my parents' house and turn it into a 2-family home. 2 families? Yes. If we do that, it will be much cheaper than buying a new house. We can have a nice, spacious place while still keeping our privacy. I think that's a great idea. My in-laws are kind, and having separate spaces will make things less stressful. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. My parents will be thrilled. I was happy to see how pleased my husband was. When my in-laws visited us later, they were very thankful. With such a kind and cheerful family, I felt like managing 2 households wouldn't be so bad. Soon after, my husband and I talked about remodeling his parents' house. The cost would be about $200,000. During our discussion, my husband made a surprising request. Actually, I have a favor to ask. Could you cover the cost of the remodeling? What do you mean, the full amount? Yes. Why? My husband looked very uncomfortable. Actually, we're in debt. I was shocked. Neither he nor his parents had mentioned this when we were dating or when we got married. How much debt do they have? About $250,000. What? I thought it would be a few tens of thousands, but I'm stunned by the amount. I ended up shouting in surprise. It wasn't just a small issue, it was growing and seemed unmanageable. Even if I wanted to help pay it off, it felt impossible. My parents are living on a pension, and the debt was becoming overwhelming. I see, I said, trying to hide my shock and frustration. I had no idea my in-laws were in such financial trouble. Julian, I need a favor. Could you help me pay off my parents' debt? They can't manage it anymore, and my salary isn't enough either. Then isn't it going to be hard to renovate the house and live together as 2 families? No, it's important, so let's go ahead with the plan. You've asked me to cover the cost of the remodeling and your parents' debt. That's $250,000. I know it's a lot to ask, but I want to build a life with you and take care of my parents. I love both them and you. I'm sorry if this seems greedy, but if you really love me, please help. I promise to pay you back little by little. I was very upset. My husband and his parents had no one else to turn to but me. I knew he loved me, but I felt misled. It felt like love had blinded me. Okay, I'll pay for it. I agreed. My husband said, "Thank you so much," and shook my hand. He told his parents, who later came to our house to apologize. My mother-in-law even cried tears of joy. I have to do my best from now on, I thought. I was determined to take on my in-laws' debt. Although I had some savings, I was worried about paying it all at once, so I decided to pay $60,000 upfront and the rest in installments. We all got together to discuss the repayment plan. I explained my plan for installments, and they agreed to it. "Why don't you transfer the money directly to the debt repayment account? We're not very good at handling money, and I'm worried about transferring a large amount," my husband said. My in-laws agreed. It would be complicated for me to transfer the money to their account, and then for them to move it to the repayment account. Since it was a large amount, I didn't want it to get lost, so I agreed to transfer it directly. Once we settled the details, my in-laws looked very relieved. Now we don't have to worry about the monthly debt collection. It's been really scary. Dad and Mom, you should thank Julianne properly. Words can't express how grateful we are. Thank you so much. We're so glad Julianne is our daughter-in-law. No, I said. I was happy that my in-laws were relieved, but I felt a bit uncomfortable. I worried that they might see me just as a source of money. Despite this, I wanted to support my husband's family. With that in mind, I started making the payments, and we remodeled the house to create a two-family home. We moved into our new spacious home. My in-laws were very happy, and my husband was thrilled with the new place. I enjoyed cooking in the new kitchen and was glad we did the remodeling. It was more convenient and closer to work, which shortened my commute and gave me more free time that I could use for studying. I worked hard every day to pay off the debt. However, something troubled me. My husband did not help with the debt payments at all. He had promised to help, but he never contributed from his paycheck. When I asked him about it, he said his salary wasn't enough. I asked to see his pay stubs to understand his earnings, but he refused, so I had no idea how much he was making. I worked hard for about a year to pay off the debt. One day my in-laws asked how much was left to repay. "It's been a year, so you haven't paid off much yet, right?" "Well, we've paid back about $60,000 this year, so there's roughly $180,000 remaining," I replied. My in-laws were shocked. "What? You've paid back that much, Julian? That's incredible. At this rate, you'll finish paying off the loan in about 5 years if you keep working hard. I'm hopeful we can pay it off," they said. "Thank you so much," my in-laws said, crying with happiness. Seeing them so joyful made all the hard work feel worthwhile. A few days later, I ran into an unexpected situation. I had to work late, so I told my husband I'd be home late. However, the work went smoothly, and we finished on time. I rushed home, planning to make dinner for him. When I opened the front door, I noticed my in-laws' shoes. "Oh, my in-laws are here," I thought. I walked toward the living room and heard them talking with my husband. "You made a smart choice marrying that woman, didn't you, Jake? You did well. I can't believe you got a woman with that much money." "When I found out she works for a big company, I made sure to win her over," said my mother-in-law. "You should be more grateful," my husband replied. "Oh my, you're part of the reason we're in debt," my in-laws said. "What? But I owe the least," my husband responded. "What are you talking about? How much did you spend on horse racing? Your gambling is terrible." "I win a jackpot once in a while, so sometimes we were actually ahead." "How can you be ahead when you owed $250,000? But at this rate, we'll be able to get out of debt and be back on track." "That's great, and she even remodeled our house. I got a really good wife." "Well, I'm going to dump her after she pays off the debt," my husband said. My husband and in-laws laughed. I was so shocked that I couldn't move from the front door for a while. After I calmed down a bit, I made a loud noise locking the door and said, "I'm home." When I went into the living room, my in-laws and husband greeted me with smiles. "Oh, Julian, welcome home. Great job, great job. We're heading back to our room now. Let's have dinner together soon." Their gentle smiles felt frightening after hearing their earlier conversation. I was stunned to see my husband pretending to be a good husband with a smile. I questioned why I had been working so hard to pay off their debt. "Didn't you say you had to work late today?" "Yes, but I finished early so I came home to cook dinner." I tried my best to stay calm until dinner so my husband wouldn't suspect anything. Later, when my husband was taking a bath, I stayed in my room and cried alone. I cried so hard that it made me want to get back at my husband and in-laws. From that point on, I acted quickly. I began preparing for a divorce and made plans for what to do afterward. About 5 months passed. I pretended to be happy and told my husband that I had paid off my in-laws' debt. My husband's eyes widened. "What? You paid off the debt? That $250,000? It was supposed to take about 5 years. Actually, I had quite a bit saved up. I was hesitant to use it all at once, so I started paying a little from my salary and savings. But since we were already under $200,000, I thought it would be better to clear the debt all at once. I see, he said. Do you mind if I show you? I asked, presenting the bank book. Oh, it's true, he said. $180,000 had been paid all at once. My husband tried to hide his excitement, but I could see he was eager to leave. Wow, Julian, thank you. My parents are going to be thrilled, he said. He put his hands on his face, pretending to cry, but I knew it was just an act. Shortly after, my in-laws came over to thank me. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I met Julian. She's truly a blessing. If I hadn't known the truth, I would have been happy to hear their thanks. But knowing what they were really like, I only acted nice because I was preparing for my plan. A few days later, my husband asked to speak with me. He looked very serious. What's going on? I asked. I'm sorry, Julianne, but you need to leave me. What do you mean? I acted surprised on purpose. I have a new girlfriend. I'm moving in with her, so I'm divorcing you. You'll have to go live with my parents. I was shocked by Jake's sudden announcement. I had anticipated he would leave me once the debt was paid, as I'd overheard their conversation, but I didn't expect him to be so upfront about his infidelity. What do you mean, send me to his parents' place? I asked. I don't really understand what you mean, I said. My husband's mood turned sour. You're not getting it at all. I don't need you anymore, but if you want to stay as a housekeeper or breadwinner, I can keep you here. Just then, the front door opened, and my in-laws came in. Jake, did you finally tell her? Yeah, I told her. I wish I could have seen her reaction. If you agree to do the chores for us, you can come live at our house. Of course, we'll charge you rent. My in-laws and husband laughed at me. I felt like they were the worst people ever. All of you need to leave, I said. My in-laws rolled their eyes. What are you talking about? Have you forgotten? I can easily pay for the renovation myself. You changed the name of the house to mine, so I have the rights to decide who lives here and who doesn't. My in-laws' faces turned pale when they remembered the house title. I was utterly dumbfounded. I'm sorry, but you can't live here anymore. If we get divorced, we'll be strangers, I said. My in-laws began to understand the seriousness of the situation, but my husband, not wanting to be outdone, shot back, but you paid off our debt in full. You're the one who lost money. If we didn't have the debt, we could have afforded a new place to live. That's true. Thank you for letting us live in a nice house while you paid off our debts, my in-laws and husband said. I'm sorry, but I didn't pay off the remaining $180,000 debt, I said. What? No, but there was money missing from your bank book. That was just a separate account I set up to move money around. The debt is still $180,000. I haven't had the collections come yet because I've been paying large amounts consistently. But now the bills will come, so you're responsible for paying the rest. My husband and in-laws were stunned. I then warned them, Jake, you confessed to having an affair, so you'll need to pay. I'll also charge your partner for the affair. Oh no, she's with me because she thought I had money in a house. If I have to pay alimony, she'll leave me. I don't care about that. No, please don't leave us, my husband begged. My husband was scared of losing his lover and my in-laws were scared of losing me. They were truly selfish. I have nothing to do with you people anymore, no matter what you say. I've also put this house on the market. You'll be responsible for paying the $120,000 debt I covered on your behalf through my lawyer. My in-laws were stunned, realizing they were losing everything. I demanded a divorce and alimony from my husband through my lawyer, as well as alimony from his affair partner, and $120,000 from my in-laws for what I had paid. The renovated house sold for about $400,000. It was in a great location, and a family looking for a duplex bought it at a good price. I had to cover $320,000, which included the $120,000 debt and $200,000 for the renovation. However, I ended up with $80,000 profit from the sale. Additionally, I received alimony from my ex-husband and his affair partner, which greatly improved my financial situation. I also got $120,000 from my ex-in-laws. Overall, I came out ahead. I felt this was fair because the damage I endured was significant enough to make me distrustful of others. I initially had savings from learning how to invest with the goal of paying off my in-laws' debts quickly. With substantial savings to start, I invested tens of thousands of dollars, and my assets grew significantly in about a year. Additionally, I received a raise at work, increasing my earnings. Thanks to my savings and investments, I was able to take these drastic steps. My former in-laws ended up back in debt and lost their house, but they brought it upon themselves by deceiving me. People who cheat others should face the consequences. This experience taught me to be more cautious and develop better judgment about people. Going forward, I'm focusing on saving and growing my assets to ensure a comfortable retirement. I want to create happy memories with people I can truly trust. To start, I improved my financial knowledge by taking courses and reading books on investing and personal finance. This helped me make informed decisions about where to invest my money. Over time, I diversified my investments across various asset classes like stocks, bonds, and real estate, which helped my wealth grow steadily and securely. Additionally, I seized opportunities to advance my career. I pursued extra training and certifications in my field, which led to a significant promotion and raise. This increased income allowed me to save and invest more aggressively. I remained focused on my long-term goals, aiming to retire comfortably and enjoy my later years without financial stress. I also wanted to be able to help loved ones if needed. This vision kept me motivated and disciplined. Eventually, my efforts paid off. I bought a beautiful home in a great neighborhood, traveled to places I had always dreamed of, and built strong relationships with friends and family who genuinely cared about me. These connections brought me joy and fulfillment. Looking back, I realized that the challenges I faced with my ex-husband and in-laws taught me valuable lessons. They pushed me to become more self-reliant and financially savvy and helped me understand the importance of surrounding myself with trustworthy and supportive people. In conclusion, I turned a difficult situation into an opportunity for growth. By focusing on my financial health and personal development, I created a better future for myself. I hope my story inspires others to take control of their lives and make positive changes. What did you think of the story? Please subscribe to our channel and see you in the next video.